For the past 10 years, I've been trying to build my way up in the music industry. I went from an artist to a music producer and professional engineer until I finally found my way helping other creatives build their audiences online. From making music to promoting it, I've done it all, but there are a few things that remain universal if you want to make a living in this industry. So after 10 years of trial and error, here's everything I learned about building a career in the music industry that I wish I knew when I was starting out. So I guess that the first thing is that the music industry is dead, but not in the way that you think. So for many years the business model was pretty much the same, as in most of the revenue was coming from the music directly, and then obviously merch. With streaming, digital platforms, and even AI now, like music has become just such a cheap thing, and most people have never even thought about buying a single from their favorite artist. Spotify pays 0.002 cents per stream, and that's completely ridiculous if you ask me, but it is what it is. So as the business model changed, you need to realize that the way you build a music career has also changed over the years. Even more after COVID hit and many things became even more digitalized and online than they were previously. So you need to learn how to navigate through the new business model, the new music industry, if you really want to make it out there. And I was also a victim of this. For example, when I was just getting started, I guess my dream job would be, and this is after I stopped making music as an artist, I guess I wanted to become an audio engineer and work in studios, right? But after some time, I realized that like even music studios that were well known, they were struggling to pay their bills. So there's obviously no way I would get a job there as someone that was just getting started. That's when I turned to freelance and I started working with some artists locally. And I guess it really did open my eyes to all of these different opportunities that were out there. But if I didn't adapt and if I didn't decide to take my own path, I guess I would still be stuck trying to like find a job or who knows. So this leads me to my next point. There are many roles that they are slowly fading away and they are slowly changing as again we transition from analog to a world that's more digital. And again, whether you want it or not, AI has made a big impact even in the music industry as well. So as some roles fade, others also emerge and you start coming across a few roles that are actually very interesting as well. So you need to be open to changing your path as well and to adapting to an industry that's constantly changing. And if I'm being honest, I think this is just the beginning, because most of the industry is still stuck to a business model that's dead and that relies on labels. It's actually easier for you to build a profitable career in music now if you do it independently, because you just have so many tools and you have so many ways to monetize the visibility that you get from music that just wasn't possible in the past without a label working with you. So stay open, stay receptive, and keep learning as well, because you never know what might happen. And you better be ready than feeling sorry for not being able to take on a job that feels good for you. Another thing I've come to realize over time is that discipline and consistency will be key if you really want to make it out there. So for a long time I was running on motivation only. That being, I would make huge jumps whenever I was feeling inspired and I was feeling ready to work. But then I would feel unfocused and I wouldn't do much for a long period of time as well. And as a result, I didn't feel like I was progressing or I was getting where I wanted to be. But then I guess everything shifted when I came to a point in life where I was working a job because I couldn't live doing this full time. And I started feeling replaceable. So I decided that wasn't something I wanted to do, and I really wanted to make something that made sense to me, was fulfilling and had a direct impact on other people, while also allowing me to stay creative and true to myself. So after that, I decided to take the jump, and I committed myself to doing it really seriously and disciplined every day. Once I started doing so, I think it took me 3 months to make more progress than I did in the previous years. And it really paid dividends, because even now, I'm not entirely sure how I was able to be that determined and to work that hard. And it got to a point where everything just started naturally happening. It's like I went from chasing to attracting, and then suddenly I didn't need to work that hard. But obviously I stayed consistent, I stayed disciplined, and again over time you really do see the results appearing in front of you, almost like magic. So if I never committed myself to it, if I never stayed consistent, determined, and like doing a bit every single day, then I don't think I would be where I am today, and I'm very grateful that I decided to take that jump when I did. And I was also an artist, so I understand that for many people it's hard to have a decent amount of like discipline and organization in their life. But for me, what really helped was, for example, just preparing my day before I went to sleep. So I would know exactly what to do tomorrow, and everything would have a proper structure that I could follow, and I could repeat it every single day without thinking too much about it until it just became natural, because we work a lot through structures and routines. And as long as you don't let it guide your life in a way that's negative to you, if you can have some degree of flexibility, which maybe for some people it's hard to manage, but I think only through personal experience and commitment can you really achieve your goals, and you just need to find what works for you and then stick with it. And a career in music in general is not like a traditional career. So for example, I've got a bachelor's degree, but even today, after a few years, I don't think there's been a single time where it was actually useful to me. So what I'm trying to say is that in these creative roles or in the music industry, your portfolio and what you've done actually means a lot more than like your qualifications or whatever your education might be. That being said, I would urge you to either start making stuff now or just build your portfolio if you're offering services for whatever the role it might be. And it's actually not that hard to land a job. So you obviously can charge a lot of money at first, but I would also advise you to not do it for free. So you obviously want to charge small, but charge something, because it will not only teach you that what you have to offer as a value and people are willing to pay for it, but you'll also build trust, you'll also be able to make your own money, and over time that compounds and it builds trust in yourself, confidence, and you can do all of this while building your portfolio and professional experience. So if you're making music, if you're a creative, then the portfolio obviously doesn't apply to you, but it could be your music. So obviously the more you make it, the more you'll grow. And also networking. Networking is very important, and it's what will get you many opportunities in this industry. So besides the portfolio and personal experience, I would also tell you to just get to know people and use social media to not only make content, but also reach out to those people. Try to build connections that are more than superficial level. Try to build genuine connections that will last you a lifetime. YouTube also worked pretty well for me when I was selling digital products. So if you're somewhat of a music producer or even audio engineer and you have something to offer to a specific audience, I would tell you to also start doing YouTube as well while building your personal brand, because in the end that's the best way you build a sustainable career. And that leads me to the final section of this video, which is all about offers and monetizing your skills. So when I was just getting started, I didn't have a clear structure. I started freelancing and I took many roles, I took many gigs. I've got a pretty wide portfolio, but I never got anything that was sustainable for me. I would still be racing against time every month to know how much money I would make. I never really had a structure. So this is something that I learned only recently, a few months ago, which is to build offers that are sustainable for you, are valuable, and you can scale as well. So it would be hard for me to cover all of this in this single video, but think about the skills you currently have or what you have to offer, and also consider a market. So consider who you're trying to sell it to. And once you know that, you can package it into a few different offers and make sure you always have one offer that's significantly higher, like you'll get paid more, because even if you don't sell it to anyone, the fact that you have it, you'll have trust in yourself and you'll have trust in your services, Besides, you never know. If you get one person to buy it, then you'll have significantly returns in that, which you'll be able to reinvest in yourself or in your career. Then obviously focus in the offers you'll actually try to sell, and then go from there, put yourself out there, try to land your first client, and then it will be a natural snowball. So I guess that from my own personal experience, my key takeaways to building a career in the music industry is that you really need to commit yourself to working at least a bit every day, because if you don't do the necessary work, then no one will do it for you, and it's not exactly easy to build a career in the music industry, so you really need to be prepared to make a few sacrifices. For me, it wasn't hard to make those sacrifices because this was something that I always wanted to do, and I believe that might also be the case for you. So put yourself out there, set priorities, and then be prepared to make some sacrifices. Another thing is the offer. So you really want to make sure you've got an appealing offer to some people, and focus on building a portfolio or professional experience first. Lastly, I would highly encourage you to build a personal brand, because ultimately that's what will help you monetizing your skills. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.